Candace Owens. I don't think we've ever talked about Candace Owens before on the channel, but man, does she like going after LeBron James. You know, when I started this channel almost 3 years ago, it was strictly about sports. I didn't want to be the political guy. I didn't think politics had any place in the NFL or the NBA, and they don't. But the fact of the matter is, the dynamic that we are seeing in sports right now, that we have seen for the past few years, that dynamic is here to stay. Once you allow political and social issues to infect you, there is no removing it. There is no cure. Just ask Jimmy Pitaro at ESPN. Back in 2017, or it might have been 2018, Jimmy Pitaro issued a statement saying, "We are removing politics from ESPN airwaves. We are going back to being the worldwide leader in sports." Yeah. How'd that work out for you? ESPN has become so infected with woke politics, it affects every decision that they make. Who to hire, who to put on the air, what issues they cover. Every decision at ESPN is based on the reaction or the potential reaction of woke Twitter. The NBA is no different, and the captain of the sinking ship is LeBron James. You want an example of why athletes should leave politics alone? LeBron James is truly the king of that scenario. To hell with him being the self-proclaimed king of the NBA. If you're the king of a dying brand, does it really make you a king? Kings build things. Kings maintain legacies. They don't destroy their own kingdom. That's what social justice warriors do. Destroy. LeBron James and Adam Silver, they have taken something that Michael Jordan and David Stern built, and they have burned it to the ground. You know why Michael Jordan stayed out of the political arena? It's not because Republicans buy shoes too. I mean, that's part of it. Jordan was a smart businessman, unlike LeBron James. Michael Jordan knew better than to alienate half of his customer base. But Michael Jordan stayed out of politics because he knew that he wasn't informed. Back in 1990, he was pressured to publicly support Harvey Gantt. Harvey Gantt, he was running for Senate in North Carolina against Jesse Helms, who, let's just say, Jesse Helms was not a popular guy amongst African Americans. Jesse Jackson was pressuring Michael Jordan to support him. Al Sharpton, political groups. Hell, Michael Jordan's own mother was asking him to support Harvey Gantt. He was under immense pressure to publicly endorse him. Michael Jordan wouldn't do it. Why? Because he didn't know enough about either one of the candidates. He wasn't going to put his name, his brand on something unless he was informed about it. Now contrast that with LeBron James, who publicly supported Joe Biden in 2020. Joe Biden, the man who has accomplished so much for African Americans here in America. LeBron doesn't know shit about Joe Biden's past. He publicly supported him because it was the cool thing to do. Look at me, guys. I'm one of you. I hate Donald Trump too. I relate to all the dumbasses here on Twitter. This is Candace Owens' main point of contention when it comes to LeBron James. He's uninformed. She was on the Full Send podcast last week. I had never heard of this show before. They have quite the following. Good for them. Looks like a decent group of dudes, too. But Candace Owens was on their show. The topic of LeBron James came up. Check out what she had to say.
Who are some of the influential people that came at you for your views and your? I mean, LeBron came at you, didn't he? Cardi B came at you.
LeBron never came after me. I actually usually go after LeBron because I think it's important for him with the platform that he has, and I think that, to be clear, LeBron is a well-meaning person. I don't think LeBron means to do bad. I just don't think he's that smart. I really do. I think LeBron James is low IQ.
Why do you say that, though?
Because I've heard him speak about issues, and he's so wrong. But I think he carries with him an arrogance, which isn't hard when you're being called a king, right? And he is an incredible talent. There's no doubt about that. He's an incredible talent. It's very hard to level yourself and to say, okay, I can be really talented, but also not be educated about something, right? And if you are not educated about something, you shouldn't speak on it. I try to do very good about that. If I don't know something, I try to listen, you know. And
I usually talk 95% of the podcast, by the way, Candace. I talk 95% of every podcast. I am fucking, this is all you. This is all you, Candace.
But would you rather LeBron?
It's a good way to be. And I've done that before when people are talking about something, I'll say, actually, I don't know anything about this, and I'm just going to listen. And I think for LeBron,
would you rather him be quiet, though?
I would rather him be quiet than tell his people that follow him a lie. Yeah, 100%. It's better to be quiet than
But
to be
he doesn't think
lying.
it's a lie, right?
But that's what I'm saying. So I think for him, he needs to do the work of actually becoming educated about these issues, and it's not hard.
Nothing she said was wrong. Everything Candace Owens said was 100% on point. How many times have I said on the channel that LeBron James is not a bad dude? I think he generally cares about his community. He's not like Colin Kaepernick or Megan Rapinoe, who are using social justice for their own financial gain. LeBron James promotes this propaganda to his financial detriment. He alienated people that respected him. He didn't gain anything from doing this. No one was following Megan Rapinoe before she became a social justice warrior. Colin Kaepernick had 9 toes in the door of irrelevancy before he got on his knees. Candace Owens, she is being ripped apart on NBA blogs for calling LeBron James low IQ and arrogant. She's fucking right. It's not a criticism when what you're saying is actually factual. It's called the truth. Something worshipers of LeBron James they can't recognize. Candace Owens wasn't saying LeBron is dumb. She said he's low IQ when it comes to political issues, and his arrogance when he's talking about it makes things even worse. Do I even need to sit here and list how many times LeBron James has been wrong on something political or social? Jacob Blake, Kyle Rittenhouse, Joe Biden, the cop in Ohio who saved the life of a young black teenage girl. LeBron James takes to Twitter and basically threatens the dude for doing so. Refusing to debate Enes Kanter. I don't have time to discuss my dealings in China with that peasant. The king is too busy at the moment helping the Lakers not make the playoffs. Has this dude ever been right on a political issue? What about the time in 2017 when he said people who voted for Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton made a mistake? Great marketing, LeBron, and you wonder why NBA ratings are in the shitter. Candace Owens mentioned that LeBron James has never went after her. She always goes after him. She's been torching him for years now. You want to know why LeBron never responds, never attacks back at Candace Owens? You want to know why? It's because she is beneath him. The king doesn't have time to focus on the little people. He is preoccupied running off what little audience the NBA has left. No, that's not the reason. LeBron James doesn't reply to Candace Owens because he knows he's out of her league. It's the same reason he refuses to acknowledge Enes Kanter. Like I said, LeBron James is no dummy. He knows that he can't debate issues against Candace Owens or Enes Kanter. His entire premise is based on myths and fantasies, this false notion that cops in America intentionally go after black people. If you're a business owner, let's say, I don't know, you own a chain of grocery stores. You're looking to expand. Now, are you going to look to expand in cities like New Orleans, Houston, Biloxi, Mississippi? Or are you going to look to open a new store in Monowi, Nebraska, which has a population of one? One fucking person lives there. The answer is obvious, and it's the same thing with the police. You know where cops hang out? You know where they go to arrest people? They go where the crime is. If you live in a low crime neighborhood, you don't see people getting arrested. Live in a high crime area, you probably see this shit every day. NBA bloggers, they're also attacking Candace Owens. They're painting this narrative that her issue with LeBron James is 100% political. She's basically telling him to shut up and dribble. She doesn't like LeBron James because Candace Owens is a conservative and LeBron James is a woke social justice warrior. Her issue with LeBron is not political. It's an informative issue, an educational issue. Candace Owens has the same issue with LeBron James that I do. He has this massive platform. Millions and millions of dumbasses blindly follow him. With that platform comes responsibility. Like I said, I believe LeBron wants to help his community, but he does more harm than good. He uses his platform to promote propaganda and bullshit. He doesn't even know that he is promoting propaganda because he's not informed on what the fuck he's talking about. I think LeBron James will regret this embrace of social justice and woke politics one day. 10 years from now, when we look back at the legacy of LeBron James, he's going to be known as the superstar who led the NBA back to its peak and destroyed it with his political views. Back in 2011, The NBA was seeing ratings that they hadn't seen since the Jordan era. It proved that LeBron James could draw, even though at the same time, people wanted to see him lose. Doesn't matter why people are tuning in. All that matters is they're watching. But starting in 2012, 2013, as LeBron James became more and more political, socially activated, NBA ratings dropped lower and lower, to the point where the past 2 years, the NBA has set record lows, at a time when people were forced to stay home. They're at home, not watching the NBA. LeBron James is going to be remembered as the first face of the NBA to leave the league in worse shape than it was in when he entered. Magic and Bird, they built the league back in the 80s. Jordan took it international in the 90s. LeBron James was gifted this kingdom, and he burned it to the ground. And the sole reason for that is woke politics. There's a lot of good players right now in the NBA who stay out of politics, but to the casual fan, the entire league is woke because the leader is woke. All right, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with Candace Owens' assessment on LeBron James? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.